In this video, you will learn how to calculate past due, interest, and amount to be billed. Now make sure you have your green thumb open. That should have been sent to you. I'm going to make my screen a little bigger. Now you'll notice that we have client number, name, address, city, state, zip. You won't need that information. We will be concentrating on billed past due, or billed paid past due, interest, and amount to be billed. That's what we're going to concentrate on. Now, how I want you to view this is, let's say you have a credit card and you went out and you bought some things on that credit card. And then, of course, about whenever you usually get a bill from that credit card that comes in, and now you have to pay on that credit card. So that's going to be how we're going to view this as we're going through it. So you have what you're billed. So right here you have $215.50, and we're going to say that, well, we only paid $155. Well, since we paid on this, we have to subtract the $155 from the $215.50. Now, you need to use formulas throughout all of this. I know you can do math in your head, but like I said before, we're learning formulas. This is the whole point of Excel. So we always begin our formula with an equal sign. Then you're going to take the amount of the bill. So you click on that amount. You're going to subtract. And that would be the paid. So you have equal sign G3 minus H3. Enter. You're going to get that $60.50. Now go ahead and you can move your mouse to the bottom right hand corner. You can click and drag down only to the last entry here, because we need to do a different formula for totals. Interest. Okay, so we have our past due. So even though we paid on this, we still owe $60.50. Well, as you all know, with credit cards, if you don't pay it off every month, they're going to charge you. So what we need to do is we have to multiply these two together. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the equal sign. Start with the past due. We're going to do multiplication, which is the star key. And now, here's something that I need to show you. If I click on this J2 cell and I enter, it's going to say value. And anytime you get anything that says value, that just means there's an error with your formula. So the reason why there's an error is because Excel cannot read words in a formula like this. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to hand key in 12.5%. Now you need to be aware that you are putting that percent sign in. If you don't have the percent sign, your interest is going to be huge, just a huge number. So maybe a note to yourself, if you get a really, really, really huge number, make that a red flag and say, whoops, I must have did the formula wrong somehow. So just remember, you have to have that percent sign with it. Enter. Because notice when we have the percent sign, it's a much smaller number. So if your interest is ever bigger than your past due, there's a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on our answer, and we're going to copy down. All right, we filled that in. Now, we have our past due amount. So we know that the credit card company is going to charge us $7.56 because we did not pay off that bill that month. We still owe the $60.50. Well, what's our total? What do we have left to owe? Well, you have to take that past due amount and you have to add it with the interest. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can do it the long way by putting an equal sign, clicking on past due, plus sign, clicking on the interest here. Or you can go up to auto sum. But notice what happened when I did the auto sum. I told you this before, that Excel will highlight all the numbers. right, wrong, or indifferent, it's just going to highlight numbers because that's what it's told to do. You have to make sure, if this is the way you're going to do it, you have to put your mouse in the middle of the past due, click and drag over to the interest. Because all we're doing is adding the past due and the interest. We're not looking at any other numbers right now. So however you want to do this, whether you want to do it the long way or you just want to do it this way, you decide, just as long as you make sure you get the right answer. Okay, go ahead and copy down. All right. Totals. Now, I prefer you did not do it the long way. Please do not do equal sign G3 plus G4 plus G5 plus G6. That is a complete waste of time. Complete. It's much faster, and I would hope that by now you would know just to click on the auto sum, and it's the right answer, but I was hoping that it would show. Let's see here. There we go. That's what I wanted to show you. What it was highlighting, because you always want to make sure that it's highlighting the correct information. Because once in a while, it may only highlight maybe 3 numbers here instead of 4. So you just have to always double check to make sure it's highlighting the correct information. And then once you have the answer, go to the bottom right hand corner and copy over. Very good. Now let's go down to tab number 2 at the bottom. And once again, I'm going to make mine a little bigger. I know mine's a little ginormous here. Yours, you don't have to make yours humongous. You can, however you want to do yours, that's up to you. Okay, past due. Once again, we have the credit card. We got the bill in the mail. Thankfully, this time we could actually pay off the credit card. Now, I know that you can figure that out, that you don't owe anything, and that would be 0. But once again, that's not what we're trying to learn here. We're learning formulas. Go ahead and plug that formula in. So you have the equal sign, you have cell G3 minus, because it's a paid, H3. Okay, you have your 0 here. Now this is where that formula is needed, because when you copy down the formula, you needed to do the correct subtraction. Okay, let's go over to interest. Remember, you're taking what you owe. Maybe looking down here is a little easier. You're taking what you owe and you're multiplying it with the interest. Okay, now remember, we have to hand key it in. So I'm going to be in cell J3 right now. Equal sign, past due. It's alright if it's a 0. Remember, this has to do with formulas. We're doing the past due, and of course we have to multiply, use the star key. And like I said before, we cannot click on cell J2, so we actually have to key in 12.5 and then make sure that percent sign is there. Enter. Hopefully you came up with a 0, because that's the correct answer for that one. Copy the formula down, and then we're over to amount to be billed. Now once again, how much do we have left to owe the credit card company after we add the interest? So starting in cell K3, we're going to start with our, now like I said before, in this one you can do it how you want to do it. I'm just going to do it the long way for this because it's only 2 cells we're adding together. So we're going to do equal sign past due plus interest. Click on my answer and pull it down. Now, like I said before, I would really like you to use the auto sum for totals. It just takes too long. We have more than 2 cells that we're adding together. It just makes more sense to click, all the numbers are correct that need to be added together, and enter. See how fast that is? Versus, you know, going back and forth, equal sign G3 plus G4 plus G5. We don't want to do that. Okay. Once we have our answer, go to the bottom right hand corner and let's drag it over. All right. Looks good. Now let's go to the third one. I'm going to go a little faster on this one because by now you should kind of get the hang of this. And we'll see how you do. So what I'm going to do is equal sign, take what I got billed minus what I paid, and got my answer. I'm going to copy that formula down. I'm going to go over to interest. I'm going to do equal sign. I'm going to take that amount that I still owe the credit card company. I'm going to multiply it with a 12.5%. Make sure you have that percent on there. Enter. Then I'm going to copy down. Then I'm going to go over to the month to be billed. I'm going to do equal sign. I'm going to take my past due. I'm going to add it with my interest so I know how much I have left to pay the credit card company. Copy that down. All right, go on over to your totals. I'm going to auto sum. Click, click, click. Voila. Click on your answer, and what do you know? You're done. Last one, number 4. Let's see how you do. All right, well, this is what yours should look like to a point if you get the pound signs or train tracks, however you want to look at this. Remember, that only means there's not enough room in the column, and yes, you need to make more room. You would never hand this in to a boss or anything like that with the pound signs. You always want the numbers displayed.